some such. I may be getting the numbers wrong. I have a dreadful memory.
There were maybe a couple of burnt out ones, empty ones, but there was one stasis pod which was basically there, and with somebody in it, somebody who got cooked in it, probably somebody who took refuge in it to try and escape the fire, but it didn't really work.
I may be getting the numbers wrong.
There were a couple. There we go. So the numbers, basically, there was a couple of stasis pods maybe, but one had a person in it, and there were 2 burned bodies on the side.
After that, we went to Pani Square Souk, and Khalil got his fortune told.
Indeed, Souk Habra. You went to the Souk, which is actually a floating market. But you went there, and you were not too impressed with that fortune teller, were you?
Well, I've seen better.
But it was relevant. Or was it?
It was relevant. The actual fortune telling itself may not have been 100% relevant, but it was interesting.
It was waffly.
From there, we found the merchant shipping, whatever you want to call it, office.
Yeah, Assam.
We broke in, found that it had been pre-ransacked. We managed to extract some limited information out of it. Found, I believe, an incendiary device. I think we nicked some of the explosives or something for use later, because you never know. You can never have too many explosives.
You got the device, but I think you left the flame accelerant behind because it was a bit too volatile to carry with you.
I think Aaron was the technical expert who was handling that side of things.
Yeah.
I was
we definitely left Aaron behind.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Thought so.
We found a safe.
With some
managed
money.
Managed to open up the safe. Did we find anything other than money? I can't remember.
I think. What was it? There might have been some information, but do you remember who she was doing business with?
All I can remember is she was a loose end of some kind. She's either like S or Q or someone along those lines.
No, she was Niobe. Her name was Niobe Hassan.
Yes, one of the, presumably a member of the family of the owners, or it could be purely coincidental, I don't know.
Or she was the owner. But yeah, one of the key things you got out was that they were doing business with somebody called Charger Duba. Irgend sowas, let me have a look. Sorry, I was slipping into German there. Charger. What was her name? Not Bings, no. Charger Duga. Genau. That's it. Charger Duga. Yeah, if you look at the chat, the name will be up a little while ago. You also found out that this Charger Duga was the person who was inspecting the cargo and basically proving it or disproving it, basically assessing it for quality, and that she apparently works for somebody called Leot Dolkassar.
Martin's here.
Yeah, I've got that name down. Also, we found a lot of tea.
You found a lot of tea, and under the body you found a messaging pad. And that message was saying, do you remember?
Well, my notes say that Niobe was told to leave, but said she couldn't because she was still waiting for payment from Dolkassar.
Indeed. I think the problem was, who told her to leave? Do you remember?
I don't have that in my notes.
Right, it was what's her name? Ah, come on. My brain's gone today. Tubra Gutan, who was also in the chat list in the name. Now, she was the forewoman who was organizing worker details down at the warehouse. And basically was the person who was managing the works, and she has disappeared, and a lot of her workers seem to have been killed or disappeared as well. But she seems to have gone into hiding. And the message was basically writing to Niobe, yeah, we need to get off the street, come and see me in our usual place. You then started researching a little bit about Tubra, and you found out that one of the places she likes to hang out was Shamut's fighting pit, which is a dogfighting place. Remember that?
And therefore evil.
Yeah, morality might differ. Yeah,
Well,
other-
apologies for lateness.
Hi, Martin. You right?
Yeah, sorry about that. When the weather's warm and you've got a massive allotment, yeah, when you get stuck watering, before you know it, you're running late.
Yeah, it happens. Not that I have a massive allotment. I just have a small garden. Okay. Layout adjusted here on screen. So, let me just have a look at my notes. We said that. Tubra. We said about Tubra hiding at the Shamut's Fight Club, but possibly hiding there. That's a normal hangout, not necessarily a hiding place. You also bought an entry token for that place, which is an icon of a gambler from a woman in the Orpod Inn. And some of you were smoking last night. You then returned to the boat for a rest. And I think that's where we left it last time.
We left it with a song, didn't we?
Yeah. You heard the song as well, which is in the chat.
Oh, Kalula heard the song, yeah.
It's in the chat, I don't know, 3 or 4 up. Getting a little bit of microphone hiss from one of you. I think it's Martin H.
Really? No idea what that is.
It's not too bad, it's just a bit hissy. So, you wake up. It's a new day, a new promise of something. It is the 3rd of Messenger. It's beginning of the new year. Even the people who have done an extended sort of cyclade would be back by at work by now. What are you going to do? Are you going to get back to work, or are you just going to set sail and disappear down the river?
Why does it say 7 o'clock again?
Why not? Because I just changed the clock to the next morning.
All right. Is that why it says again?
Doesn't say 7 o'clock again, does it?
No, sorry, what it was the clock was over the chat, which had the end of the song, so it says 3rd of Messenger, 62 seasons, 7 o'clock again.
All right. You can shift that about on your screen, where the calendar is.
I think somebody just has, because I haven't shifted it, but it's just lighted itself up. Never mind.
Okay.
The tunnels lead only forward, like an arrow leaping from its string. I steadied myself for the journey's end, living still in death, all that was shall be again. Ooh, tunnels.
You like tunnels, do you?
Not especially.
Okay. Tunnels, he says, meaningfully. Last time you were in some tunnels, you encountered that beast, didn't you?
Yes, and the fun time was had by all.
Yeah, and somebody lost an arm. Fun times. All right, so the town around you is already waking up. There are people shouting along the river and hollering, and people are delivering stuff. Stuff is being loaded and unloaded. It's quite a busy place this early in the morning.
Yeah, we need to find that woman.
Which one?
The worker, the foreman lady.
Tubra.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just how are we going to do it?
Well, you have a couple of clues.
We've got a Fight Club to go to, and we're supposed to go there after 6 p.m.
Yeah.
That's when it really kicks off, but there are people there probably just throughout the day. Yeah, but if you wanted to bet on fights, you would go in the evening.
Is this a legitimate fight club? Is it legal in this town, or is it under darkness, as it were? Is this
It is a dog fighting club, and it is legal. But you have to remember that, although not entirely legal, certainly tolerated, things go on here with all sorts of drugs, slave trade, prostitution, Not all of it is legal, but a lot of it is tolerated.
Right.
Not interfered with, anyway. The dog fighting, as far as you know, is legal. You're from Mira, of course, not from Kuan. But yeah, just dogs, isn't it? People are breeding genetically engineered dogs for fighting. Yeah, those of you who have been to Jahroom have witnessed a cat fight, basically, which was saber-toothed cats, genetically engineered. So where could you go? There's a fight club. What else can you go?
I think there was mention also of a. There was mention of the leader of the resistance, wasn't there?
Iyala. Yeah, she's basically the local equivalent to this rebel leader who you had met out in the jungle. I think it's Iyala. Yeah, Iyala.
I wonder whether we can try to make contact.
How would you go about it?
Because after all, we are part of the resistance movement fundamentally.
Mm-hmm. How would you go about finding her?
How many
I
darkness
suppose it's
boots
hanging around some bars, but I suppose it's different for them, isn't it? Hanging around bars, speaking to people, trying to get word out. After all, we've stirred up trouble in Verbatim, and we're looking to maybe assist with a little bit of trouble here.
Well, what I heard in the Opal bar is that there's a lot of rebels hanging around in alleyways.
And you also heard that they're getting weapons from somewhere.
Where?
Yes, they are increasingly armed, so maybe if we go and loiter in some dodgy places and look for armed people.
I can definitely do that.
Good, good. And are you carrying your own weapons? Or are you leaving them on the boat?
I think we should do it all the time.
No, I think we'll be carrying them for...
I think it'd be stupid not to carry weapons.
Yeah, we don't know what's going to happen.
I think it would be suicidal not to carry weapons.
And how big would you like them to be?
Easily concealable size.
Right, so you're not carrying your big carbines.
Handguns, I suppose.
I don't have any carbines.
Yeah.
I will definitely have a bag full of stuff.
And the typical duffel bag.
Oh, Billy bag. Okay.
Yeah, carbine in a bag.
Shotgun, grenade launcher, heavy machine gun.
It's the sort of thing where if I walk through a metal detector, I expect to have 2 pistols, one in each side, so that I can shoot people as I matrix through.
Lots and lots of guns.
Exactly.
Yes. Gosh, I haven't seen that film for a while. So, all right. So you start heading into town, and you're wondering where the best back alleys might be to fight these rebels. And you see some people who are armed and enter a little market square. And this market square basically is a big barge, which is towed next to some others. And this big barge has a stage on it. On the stage are a couple of cages. And there's somebody standing there and says, "Oh, yeah, we have here a Kuan slave, Sogoi from the jungle, and young. He's but 16, 17 years old, and look how healthy he is. He can definitely put in some work. So, who would like to offer for him?" It's basically a slave auction. You're walking in straight after your breakfast.
That's going to sour it. Is slavery legal?
Tolerated. Certainly down here. And even
is
the
it
noble
tolerated
family,
at all levels of society?
Pretty much. Even the people who live in the monolith, so the Kuans, the Zenithian hegemony, say that in a hurry, they also own slaves, and it's a status symbol for them as well. And also a lot of the plantations here on Kuan are essentially slave operated.
How do they control them? Is it implants, external collars that explode if they run away?
It's a lot of threats. There's not necessarily very, very high risk at all. Sorry, not high tech, I mean. It's basically threats. You say, look, I have a contract, I own you as a slave. Yeah, if you run away, we'll find you. You reckon that some slaves probably will have some sort of implants or tracking at least, but the normal low-level slave, like the rural labourer, will not have anything like that.
Skilled slaves and ones in so-called positions of trust, though.
Indeed. And the Shauka rebels, one of their aims is to free slaves. Yeah, and slave them from factual slavery, but also from the sort of implied slavery, the serfdom that they have with their labouring on the plantations.
Is there more than one slave market?
In around the city, definitely. No, not necessarily in Little Algol. Little Algol, certainly, as far as you've seen it so far, this seems to be the one.
Because I'm thinking, the people that were sent here, some of them had psychic powers, some of them didn't. The ones without psychic powers were probably sold on.
Aha! Interesting you should say that. Can you do me an observation?
I can try.
Go on, let's roll.
Come on,
So
Buzz.
back.
I know you love me. Oh my god, I
There you
passed.
go! Yes, and as you say that to the others, you look along the row a little bit of 4 or 5 people are standing there, and there's a boy, maybe he's about 12, 13-year-old boy. He's got his arm in a bandage. And he's looking really desolate, really sad and desperate and sobbing a little bit. And you recognize him from a missing persons bulletin from Coriolis.
Ah. Okay, I look. We're in a courtyard type thing, aren't we?
Yes, essentially it's a big barge. Yeah, and there are lots of boats basically being towed up next to each other. And this one barge has got the stage on it. You're standing
Okay.
on the same
I'm
boat.
just thinking, if there's a couple of places this kid can run, I was going to ask the others to basically go to where the kid could run. So if he does run, they can step out and catch him. I'm going to be charming, but hopefully he's not going to run. Thing is, he may recognise me. I am a nice guy, as well as being so pretty.
And I'm so famous.
Yeah.
Oh, but the auctioneer
I was
sees-
Dr. Bashir in Star Trek.
The engineer sees you, sorry, not the engineer, our auctioneer sees you look at the boy and says, "Oh, have we got somebody who's interested in this young man here?"
He looks like he would do as a companion to a child, maybe. He's a bit scrawny, though.
Yeah, he is a bit scrawny, that's fair enough, but he's young, he's got lots of potential. I think he's Miran. So he speaks more than one language as well. And
I
he's
suppose.
definitely...
Well, yeah, I make a sort of sour face. Miran. By the way, I hope he's not seeing through my disgust at this point.
Okay.
So how much?
Oh, shall we put him to auction? You can make me an offer, or we can put it to auction.
Well, what are you looking for?
What am I looking for? 500?
You're kidding, right?
No. Why would I be kidding? This is serious business. I never kid.
500 per?
Yeah, 500 bear. He's got lots of potential, this young man.
100 per.
We'll have to put that to auction then. If you just wait a moment when we get round to him.
Yep.
And the chap, the Sogoi, he
Okay,
was just
guys.
selling, he actually sold for 150.
Right, guys. As I bid, I want you to look as menacing as possible. By the way, what's the procedure for manumission?
For what?
Freeing a slave. Manumission.
I thought that was emancipation.
What's the procedure?
minute.
If once you have bought him, you can basically just free him. That's absolutely fine. Yeah, you can basically give them a document just to make sure that they can prove it, but it's not a problem. You can do with a slave as you like. So, okay, the auction
There you go.
starts.
I'm always willing to educate people.
So what are you trying to do? You're trying to make your crew look really menacing, you're saying?
Yes. Hopefully, people will look at them and not bid against me. It may backfire.
It might very well backfire. Yeah, okay. So, what you hear? Yeah, on you go.
I'm just looking at Tarir and going, so, got something against Mirrors, have you?
No. I was
Well, you
hoping
said
that-
you did.
Yeah. You think I wouldn't stoop to lying to a low scum-sucking slaver?
Well, I wish you'd warned me first, but it's very hurtful. I'll let you off this once.
Thank you. Yeah. Hopefully
You're
we
welcome.
can get this boy and free him. Did you recognise him? He's one of the missing from the station.
Not really. I wasn't paying much attention to you.
I couldn't look away.
Very well.
So,
Do me a manipulation roll. Just see how well you actually manage to intimidate the people around you.
okay, I take it
What? All of us,
seductive.
or just to hear?
Just to hear, but anybody who wants to assist by looking menacing, you can say that you assist, and then he gets an extra die for each of you, up to maximum of 3.
Okay. Well, I've got manipulation, so go for it.
Okay.
I can
Can
pretend to be menacing.
Now, I've got wealthy family talent. You can use rumours of your family's vast riches to give yourself a +2 to manipulation in any situation where the GM is relevant. So they don't know who I am, but I am dressed in rich clothes and look very pretty. So I'm hoping people think, he's a rich noble, let's not mess with him. Do I get that bonus?
Yeah, okay, I'll give you +1. Fine. So you're there in
Okay,
the fineries.
Yeah. So I've got 3 and 4.
Mm.
Okay, let us hope, everybody, that I'm past this. Because, it's not like I can be pretty and seduce people. Come on, dice, you know you love me, and I'm going to pray to the icons.
I'm sure that's well deserved. 2 successes. 2 successes. Okay.
Better than nothing.
All right. So the bidding goes up. Goes on for a while, but yeah, they reach 150. Yeah, there's definitely 150 being bid. There's 200 being bid. There's 250 being bid. You stick up your hand and say 300, and by that point, they stop bidding. They look at you and eye you up and say, "Oh, he's got deep pockets. We can't compete with him." You overhear somebody say, "So for 300 going once, 300 going twice, 300 for that strange gentleman there in the strange clothes."
Right, there you go. I've cost off 300.
Yeah. 300 bear, and you have yourself a new slave. And the
So
boy looks
the
at you.
reason I was asking if they had controlled him, did they? Hopefully they haven't branded him or anything sick like that.
No, he's not branded. He's not branded. But he's basically trembling, and he looks at you in horror. And there's tears coming down his cheeks as he's basically crying, but he looks really starved as well.
Yeah.
And as I said, he's got a bandage, a quite dirty bandage around one arm.
Okay, let's get him out of there. I'm thinking we need to go and find a restaurant or something where we can feed him up. We need to get him some clean clothes. I can't remember which one of us has medical. To give him a quick check over.
I think that's Saya.
Yeah.
And we also need to make him free again.
Yeah, so you do that, and he's basically speechless. He doesn't talk a lot, other than his name. You eventually get his name. What's he called? He's called Nalat.
No, yes.
Nalat.
It means bullet magnet.
But what order do you want to do this? If you want food, probably the first order would be to basically feed him from a street stall or somewhere, and then get him cleaned up, and then maybe go
Let's
somewhere
feed
else.
him from a street stall and get him cleaned up. And once we've calmed him down a bit, I'm going to ask him, basically what happened, see if he can tell us. Did he see anyone else from the station? And we're going to organise it. We're going to make sure he gets home.
How are you going to pitch this? How are you going to present this, other than saying, "I now own you"?
No, it's the first thing, basically he's obviously going to be terrified. So the first thing I mention is, kid, I'm not, what's your name? Right, now that, my name's Tahir. Yeah, don't worry, I'm not into owning slaves. Here, sign I got, you're now free, but stick with me, I'll get you fed, clothed, treated, and I'll get you back to the station, your family, because I recognised you. So stick with me, and until we get back to the station, I'll look after you. We all will.
He's still sobbing. He looks at Sai and says, "Does he say the truth?"
Yes, I'd know if he was lying. I always know.
Slavery is abhorrent. People aren't property.
Indeed. And after eating a little bit and you cleaning him up a little bit and making promises, he starts to thaw out a little bit. And he tells you, "Oh yeah, I don't know. I just was woken. I was woken up in a dark basement. They put me in a stasis pod, and in this dark basement, they opened it up again, and I saw this woman with a green shawl, and there were other pods all around the walls, and tools were everywhere. And then she examined me, and then muttered something, and she put this bandage on my right arm, even though I wasn't injured."
Was it a white bandage?
No, it was sort of white once upon a time, but it's very dirty.
Yeah, because if I remember correctly, it was the ones that weren't psychic had white, the ones that were had black, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. They had a cross on the forehead and on the stasis spots.
So I asked him about his family, hoping he still has family.
Yeah, my family, they live up in Coriolis. They're not very well off. I don't think we can offer you a lot of reward, but I would definitely like to go up and see them.
Not necessary.
But the lady said something really strange to me. She said my fate in Sky City would be much, much worse than if I go to the markets. And then she told me never to take off those bandages.
Oh, we are definitely taking off those bandages.
Yeah, I want to see what's under there.
Under there is a slightly less dirty bit of skin.
Right.
There's no injury. There's no implant or anything like that. No tattoo. No brand. It is basically just It was made to look like he was injured.
Unless the lady was basically helping him for some reason, getting him away from. But that doesn't make any sense. By the way,
just put the quote in the chat.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Got 10 darkness points. What am I going to do with them?
Razak, you've got the psychic talents, haven't you?
No, I do.
No.
Sorry.
How long have you been together now?
I keep getting confused with the Martins.
Yeah,
that's what I was checking.
Get these
different names, guys, please.
And you had another
different names.
8 sessions before. It's 14 sessions. I mean, you should know when. So he thanks you and bows and says, "Oh, I'm really pleased that I was lucky enough to find you, and I can't believe that you're gonna free me. But how am I gonna get back up to Coriolis?"
Well, that's what you stick with us, and we'll get you back to the station.
And we get back up there.
Yeah. Well, if necessary, I can call my ship down.
Yeah. Where would you land it?
The monolith here has got space ports, more than one around it. This is the biggest city or the biggest part of the conglomerate that spans huge stretches of Kuan, the Kuan surface.
Yeah, but is there is everywhere a ship could land sort of like an official landing pad, or are there sort of like enough areas that if we needed to, we could get one down in a hurry?
The monolith has an aviation academy, etc., and spaceport for smaller ships. Don't know whether you can see that over here if I pull you here onto the description. The spaceport. But that's a bit difficult to get to. But there will be spaceports in some of the other districts as well. As far as you remember, there's one in Ara. And the next part along, there's a spaceport.
Cool.
But there's more than one around here.
Yeah, you stick with us. We'll keep you safe. Yeah. So, they were taking people because they're taking people with special talents.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have special talents, but after she told me not to take the bandage off, she took me to a very well-dressed man upstairs, and he looked at me, and then she whispered in his ear, and he just sighed and said, "Oh, he's damaged goods. Get rid of him." And then they stuck me back in the basement, and there was a sort of a walkway that took me to a rickety jetty with a boat, and they brought me here. It was an underground tunnel with water in it. It was really smelly.
So like a sewer.
No, more like, I don't know how to describe
It's
it.
like a canal.
Smuggling tunnel?
Maybe. Like very stale water. And
Stagnant
rotten
water?
fish.
Like a swamp?
Maybe. I don't know. I grew up in Coriolis. We don't have swamps. I just read about them. But I think it was more like the smell you get in river when there's stale river water and dead fish and seaweed.
Okay, so to help protect you, what we're going to do, after you've eaten your fill and cleaned up a bit, we're going to get you dressed in some nice clothes.
Oh, thank you. Bless the icons.
And if anyone asks, you're my servant, I will pay you, but they'll be less likely to bother you if you're dressed well and have an employer. They wouldn't want to mess with me or us.
If you say so.
Yeah.
What should I call you? Boss? Master?
No. You can call me Captain or Tahir.
Captain will do. Or Captain, my Captain.
So, clothes is anywhere from 50 to 1,000. I'm actually starting to run out of money. Would
you can get some
250
simple clothes. No, 100.
Sorry?
You get some simple clothes that are presentable for about 100. That's not a big deal.
Yeah, I was thinking something that looked smart that people would. So he didn't look. So he looked like he worked for somebody upper class. Does that make
If you
sense?
spent a little bit of time, 150 second hand.
Okay, that'll do.
Big T-shirt with "I work with this guy" and then an arrow pointing to you.
I'm with stupid. Yeah.
I'm with stupid brackets, but he pays well.
Mhm. All right.
At some point, we're going to have to get him to make a call back up to the station to let his parents know he's okay.
Yeah, Mohammed says in the chat, he
Don't
says,
we have
get
an
him a happy
interplanetary
meal.
communicator?
Get him a Happy Meal toy to make him happy, it says.
I thought you had like a communicator that could reach to the station.
No, we've got Type 3, Type 4 is orbit, and that's a backpack thing.
Is it?
Yeah.
Type 3 was like good enough for low orbit.
Well, no,
Okay,
Type 3
350
is
type.
100 kilometers.
There are messaging networks here, and the thing is that the monolith on the surface where you are basically on Covenant City is basically directly underneath Coriolis. Coriolis is geostationary.
Thing is, I'm sure we could like connect to a local cell that can connect to that would have a long distance link up
you
to the
can
orbit.
you can get through. You can get messages to your mission giver as well, Judge Kurahan.
Yeah.
Nigelia Kurahan. So you could actually ask them to pick somebody up, or you could just pay passage for the boy because there are shuttles going up and down.
Yeah, what do you think, guys? Should we get him back to his family?
Yeah, if we can do so affordably, because we don't want him in the middle of gunfight, something like.
I would
And how much
actually
would a shuttle?
Did you ever
shuttle
fit
ride
those
to go.
really small places on the ship?
Say it again.
could fit in those really small places on the ship.
You want to
Ones
keep
you
him?
just can't get. Yeah. No.
Train him up as an apprentice. Give him a skill.
Yeah, but
I
you have
also
to go through all the gunfights
suspect
first.
that. Yeah, thing is, I also suspect that he may have some talent. Is there any way, Khalil? Is there any way you can examine him?
As far as I'm aware, there's no mystic talent which enables you to detect other mystics.
True.
Plus, I could maybe try something like clairvoyance or something, but I doubt that
No
would work.
midichlorians scanner.
No, there's no metachlorians.
Unfortunately, no.
Stay away with that film.
I hated that. Stupid.
It was probably the worst acting I've ever seen in that film from the mother, Smee.
Yeah.
Oh,
She was so
you're taking
wooden.
my son away. Oh dear. Bye, son.
I know. It's like you're a bit weird. It was definitely forced, wasn't it?
It was not just forced. It was just silly, completely beyond reasonable.
Nicolas Cage is a better actor than she was. And that's saying something.
Keira Knightley is a better actress, even the young one. But anyway, less wooden, you see. Right. So you can pay passage for him. That's fine.
How much would that cost?
If you want it to be really safe, 100 bear. You can have basically an unaccompanied minor, sort of somebody looking after him during transit and making sure he arrives. And you can send a message.
Do that, then.
You can send a message to his family if you like.
Yeah.
Do you send it along with him, or do you send it like go and pick him up from the docking ring?
We'll tell him he's coming up.
Okay.
It also let that judge lady know that we rescued one of the people kidnapped.
Keep a receipt. Might be able to get reimbursed for this.
Yeah, easily.
If we do, if we don't, doesn't matter. It's a good thing.
I just put his full name in. You definitely have somebody who owes you a big favor. So at some point, that might come in helpful.
Yep.
So are you all hanging out together, or is there somebody who wants to do something else in the meantime?
Well, let's ship him back up and get him back safely before we do anything. Otherwise,
I'll send you a
if
message.
we don't, he may be a bit of a gunfight or something if he just follows us around. Who knows?
Knowing you, yeah, that happens.
I mean, knowing me, I don't get into gunfight.
No, he says, pistol slinger with 2 pistols.
I only use when I have to, because I'm a rotten shot, so it wouldn't make much sense.
Right, so you basically ship him off. Very well done, very well done. And the name is Nala Tsindalara. Dallara, why does that ring a bell? So that's a racing car maker, isn't it? Dallara in Italy.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so. Okay. You have done your good deed for the day.
The good day for the deed, yes?
Yeah, exactly.
Time to go rob some banks.
Come on, Boy Scouts, what's next?
Yes, now we've got some moral currency. Let's go and waste it. Yay!
You've actually just spent quite a bit, haven't you? Sorry, Sue?
Still want to find the person responsible for murdering my cousin.
Yeah, what happened to Noor? I mean, we don't know what happened, but
At some point.
How much time does it take us to arrange for this kid to get shipped back up? If we're talking about like post 6 o'clock for the dogfighting club.
no, let's say it's lunchtime. Doesn't take you that long.
Okay.
As long as you're happy for him to wait for the next shuttle by himself. Otherwise, it might be a couple of hours longer.
Did we want to leave him on his own after he's just been freed from slavery? It's a bit rough, isn't it? Well, here you go, kid. See you later.
Okay, let's call it until 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock in the afternoon. What do you want to do?
So that gives us 4 hours. Do we need to?
Now you can go to the place beforehand. Absolutely fine. You can the show might not be on yet, yeah, which might be a good thing for you. Or you could, in theory, try and find Tubra, or you can listen out to see whether you can find the Shauka woman. What was her name? Iyala something?
Baku.
Baku. Iyala Baku.
Weren't we I can't remember, weren't we planning on sort of like hanging around to meet up with some of the rebels? Because you mentioned that there's like lots of rebels in the armed rebels in the back streets, as it were.
Yeah, that was the way of trying to contact Yala.
Do you want to do that, or do you want to just, arrive early at the club, check it out, and then start asking questions there?
I think, I've been extremely talky, so I thought let other people do it. I do like the idea, though, of getting other stuff done while we're waiting for the place to open.
All right. So you want to approach somebody, the rebels?
Yeah.
Ooh, we could use our friend in every port.
Yeah, you could. What sort of friend would you be using it for?
I don't know, I'm just speculating out loud at the moment. Who knows? Maybe one of the rebels that we meet in the streets is maybe one of the rebels we had met previously in the other camp, who had moved on or something. That would be one possibility.
But your contact in Bay Basin was Yasmina. And the rebel leader out there, do you remember what he was called? Because I don't.
I think he was called the Boss, wasn't he?
No, he was Dali Osman, I think.
Not Danny.
No,
Dali.
not Dali.
Right, okay.
Pretty sure it was.
Yeah.
No, I didn't put that down. Dali Osman. It will be Dali Osman.
Definitely not a long-haired lover from Liverpool, though.
No, not that one.
That's a relief.
Dali Osman. There's something going wrong with the artwork on the character sheet. It's a bit strange. But I don't need the artwork for you. I've got a picture of him in front of me. That's all I need. So that's 2 names you could drop. All right. So who wants to lead that bit?
Someone else want to talk? Because I've been doing a lot of talking.
Oh, I love talking. Yes, let's do that. Let's dive into the back streets and find somebody that we can talk to.
Woof,
Who
says
did
the
for
duck.
again?
Who you're looking for is
Yes.
Iyala Baku.
Yara Baku.
Baku.
Okay.
You're seeing some people, some young folk, hanging out on the street corner, smoking some stuff. And they have the typical swagger of young men looking to prove themselves about them.
Right.
And you are pretty sure that a couple of them certainly have got some weapons hidden under the clothes. And one of them is actually, he's got a Vulcan cricket. And he's just sort of polishing it off and seems to be very proud owner of a new weapon. And you think that
is so shiny, my friend. Well, that is amazing. Keep up the excellent work.
He looks at you a little bit, strange old man, and then just nods and says, "Yeah, indeed. You have to keep your weapons in order, right?"
Absolutely. But is it such a good idea to keep them so shiny?
I'm just keeping it clean. You wouldn't want it to jam because of muck going. And you see, my father, he was with the Legion, and he told me all stuff about keeping your weapon clean, you know.
Wow, a former legionnaire, eh? That's impressive. He must have talked to you all kinds of things about weaponry and tactics and strategy and things like that.
Well, he taught me 1 or 2 tricks, but mainly he was just telling me stories about the trouble they got into in their unit. With a sergeant, you know.
Oh, sergeants! They're always so sergeanty, aren't they? They are practically a living embodiment of army life. You can't go wrong with a sergeant. A captain, a lieutenant, they can be a bit flaky, but a sergeant, you can always rely upon a sergeant.
Indeed, sergeants are the backbone of a good army, he tells me. But then, of course,
They are. Well, all the NCOs, but of course the sergeants are the most senior.
He looks at you. That's strange. So have you been in the army?
Oh, no, not me. I am but a simple traveller, my friend. I'll sort of pull out one of my Vulcans and say, but look, I keep my guns nice and shiny too, because you're right, you can never tell when they can get dirty, and you can't be too careful.
That's a slightly older model, isn't it? Look, the barrel design is different.
Oh, God, yes, this is such an old gun, but it's seen some use. You know, it still works. But, yeah, it's almost as old as I am, absolutely.
But you really need to sort out that muck around the trigger, it's going to jam soon.
Is it? Oh no!
Yeah.
I'll hand him a gun and say, "There you go. Perhaps you can help me out with it."
He looks strangely at you, takes the gun, puts his arm in the holster on his, under his big sort of robe that he's wearing. And then says, "Oh, well, hang on a minute." And he gets some cleaning kit out and starts to disassemble your cricket in front of you. He seems to know what he's doing.
Well, he clearly doesn't because it's not a cricket. But
Oh, okay, pistol then. I thought it was a cricket.
Yep.
So while he's cleaning the weapon, the other two are sort of looking at you and saying, "So, have you been fighting much?"
well, I mean, I'm not, as I mentioned, I'm not much of a fighter myself, but I was stuck in the middle of a rebel encounter just the other day, as it happens.
Oh, really?
Very, very interesting stuff. Yes, over in what's his name? Oh crikey, out in the middle of the jungle. That family that runs things. Scary people, very scary people.
You want to say the name, then it's in the chat. If you want to keep being vague, then that's fine as well.
I love being vague, but okay. Oh, what's their name? Begins with a B. B. Do you know them? Oh crikey.
Beethoven?
Beethoven? No, I don't think it was Beethoven. No. Beetroot? No, not beetroot. It was Bay something. Oh crikey. Well, yes, that town out in the middle of the jungle, not so far from here. Bit of a family-run business. They had a bit of an encounter with some rebels just the other day, and that's it, Baberson. Yeah, I think they're in a spot of trouble. Those rebels seem to come out on top there.
He stops polishing the weapon. They all look at you and say, "Basin, you've been there?"
Oh yeah, nice place. There's a very nice market and a particularly fine place where you can get some local beverages, if you know what I mean. Wink.
I can't believe you were there. Were you fighting against the militia?
Well, the militia didn't really turn out to be much. I wasn't that impressed with them, to be honest. The rebels there seemed to know what they were doing. And initially, I thought it was a bit of a forlorn hope and that they weren't really up to scratch. But in the end, they came through okay, yeah.
Well,
Is there
apparently
much-
the fighting is still going on. We thought
Really?
we had it. And now, actually, it seems like they brought some more Nestera Defense Force
Oh, how
mercenaries in.
disappointing. Oh, well, yeah, you can never rely too much on mercenaries, can you? Before you know it, somebody's offered them a better deal.
The Barbasil family have a lot of money, so I'm sure they can just buy any mercenary they want to.
Oh, yes, I expect they can. But I don't think they have as much money as the people in this fine establishment. There can't be much of a rebel presence here, surely.
He looks at you and will say, "What establishment do you mean?"
Well, this fine town that you have here, with that dirty great monolith over there.
Oh, well, that's where the Zenithian hegemony are. Slave drivers they are. All of them. They're just living off the sweat of the people. They're sponging of us.
Well, that's always the case with the upper classes, really, isn't it? They give you barely anything at all, and then they expect you to be grateful for it.
Indeed. Yeah, we need to kick them out.
Really? I'll look at them. Are there many people planning that kind of thing, or is it just bit of an ambition for some youths who don't really know what they're doing?
Well, there are more of us every day.
Really? Well, that's encouraging news.
Indeed. Do you want to sign
Well,
up?
I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be in town that long because we're on a bit of a mission. But if I can help in any way, I would be delighted. As you know, I'm not much of a soldier, as you can tell from the state of my weapons. But anything I can do to help the downtrodden and the oppressed, sign me up.
Looks around him. Have you got access to weapons? We could do with some bigger weapons. Have you got some carbines? Have you got some grape guns? Some thermal weapons?
I haven't. As you can see, I just have these, but my companions do. We're a bit of a ship's crew, you see. We're on a bit of a mission. We're passing through, but we were able to help back with the other lot. So, if we can help here, I think we would probably want to.
Well, if you have any spare weapons on your ship, just pass them to me. I'll make sure that the right people get them.
If you can tell me where to meet, I think we could probably do some business, and probably at a greatly reduced rate. We're going to be at a club this evening. Why don't you come along? And if there are any other people that you might want us to meet.
Well, if you want money for them, you have to meet my sergeant, right?
Well, I think probably it's best not to talk on the street. There are ears everywhere, but why don't you come along to this club tonight? Perhaps we can do some business there in a bit more privacy.
What club are you talking about?
I don't know. What was the name of that club again?
Oh, come on. No taking. Shamood's Fighting Pit.
Fight Club. Yes, I imagine it's probably. I imagine it's probably common. So I'll just go. Do you know Shamood's?
Yeah, of course. It's down the ruin, isn't it? In this old wrecked building.
I believe so. Yes, I was given the address, but I've never been there myself. Is it a popular place? Is it likely to be well attended?
Yeah, probably.
Excellent, excellent. So we'll probably have plenty of people making a lot of noise so we can talk discreetly.
Yeah, but it only gets busy around 10 o'clock at night.
Oh, really? Well, we're going to be there for a while, so I imagine we could arrange to meet around 10ish. Absolutely.
Okay. Who should we ask for?
Oh, my name is Khalil.
Khalil.
I'll just grab my weapon back, and then sort of vigorously start pumping his hand up and down. So it has been so fantastic to meet you. It's been a real privilege. Thank you so very, very much, and thank you for cleaning my trigger too. That is looking spectacular. You clearly know your way around weapons.
My name is Faraz.
Faraz, it's such a pleasure to meet you, sir. And yes, come along tonight, and if you do need to introduce us to anybody else, by all means, bring them or their representatives.
Sure, I will do.
Yes, thank you so very much.
And then with that, he basically, you go off. I take it.
Yep.
All right.
I'll just go off, and just as I'm getting out of earshot, they'll be able to hear me go, "What nice boys."
What an old codger, you hear them say. Oh, no, you don't.
Yep. I'll get on the comms. Guys, you'll never guess who I've just spoken to.
No answer.
Go on.
Apparently there's a bit of a rebellion going on in this place as well. I know, I was stunned as well. And, I've suggested they might want to meet up with us because they may be a useful source of information. So apparently Shamood's is quite a well-known place, but it normally only gets busy around about 10 o'clock. So I don't know if we are planning on going, a little bit earlier or a little bit later, but if we go now, it's going to be quite a wait back to get there. And it doesn't sound like it's too impressive a place, to be honest, because apparently it's set in a ruin. I guess they want to keep well under the noses of the authorities.
Of course.
Nice chaps. Hope you polish my trigger, and that's not a euphemism.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently they want some weapons, so I don't know. We may be able to offer them some spare if we have any, or maybe able to hook them up. I don't know. But if they're any use to us, we may be able to help them out. If they're not that used to us, we can always send them packing.
If the others are gone to sleep.
No, I'm still
Well,
here.
when Bagpuss goes to sleep, all his friends go to sleep.
Yeah, indeed.
That was on last night, actually, wasn't it? There was a documentary on Channel 4 about Oliver Postgate. Or was it BBC 4?
I have no idea. BBC 4 would not be on telly. I mean, that's a dead giveaway usually.
Well, no, BBC 3 is the one which is not on telly. BBC 4 is.
Is it? Okay.
Yep.
All
BBC
right.
3 is the only one, is the one which is online.
Hmm. All right. So, what do you want to do next? It's too early for a break. Come on. What do you want to do?
What have we got left on the list?
Well, really, you could try and find Tubra, or you could just go straight to the club now and see whether they know something about Tubra, or you could just wait out.
I was thinking I might see if there's any local internet
Oh yeah, definitely.
and look up some of the names we've picked up recently.
There's some Infonet cafes. That's what it's called here, Infonet Cafe, the conglomerate Infonet, which has access also to the Coriolis net.
It's handy.
You have to pay a little extra, but you can get there. It's not too far away. It's just in orbit. I don't know how high is the International Space Station above the surface of the Earth.
140 miles, isn't it, or something?
Yeah, was it K? Go on, somebody look it up and tell me. That's roughly the distance that Kuan is above the planet. Sorry, Coriolis is above the planet.
408k.
408.
8k.
There you go. Which is roughly, what is that in miles? Don't know, I don't do miles. 230 or so.
Is it geosynchronous orbit or?
Yeah, it's geosynchronous. So the Coriolis station is
20,000 miles.
always above the monolith.
So probably quite a chunk higher then.
Geostationary for Earth orbit, according to Wiki, is approximately 22.2 thousand miles.
Oh, that far out.
Yep.
And that, of course, it depends on the planet size as well, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah, the ISS isn't geostationary. It whizzes right past. Can't remember how many times it is. Something like 9 or 10 times a day, something like that.
So is that how high the Sky satellites are? Because they're geostationary, aren't they?
Are they?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they have a network.
Yeah.
The Astra satellite, TV satellite, for example, you always had to pin it to the right position.
Yeah, you have to point the disc at them.
Yeah, indeed.
Are they geostationary though, or do they just have a huge enough array of satellites that there'll always be one there covering you?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that they were always in the same place.
Oh, okay.
But hey, we're drifting off topic a bit. So yeah, monolith down here, Coriolis up there, distance X. Pretty big X, where X is a big number. Even bigger if it's in kilometers rather than miles.
Oh wow. ISS circles the Earth 15.5 orbits per day.
And they don't get dizzy?
I think, it's the usual speed is relative routine.
Yeah, of course. I was just listening to The Expanse yesterday again. Audiobook. The 6th one now. Anyway, so, you can hang about, or you can go to the club early, or you can go to the Infonet Cafe. What are you looking into? What are you researching, Saya?
Those names that we found, so Tubra and Dolkasar.
All right. As far as you can find out, Tubra, basically, you just see some job postings. Offering services for the foremen and so on in the harbour, but other than that, you don't really see much. For this Dolkasar guy, he seems to be a local, gang boss is the wrong word, upwardly mobile person who is very, very keen to impress. So he's quite showy and so on, but he lives in Dignitary City, which is the slightly nicer bit of Little Algol. It is pretty derelict. It's ruined old palaces, etc. is definitely not something glamorous, but he seems to be the upper crust of Little Algol. He has a little palace, and you see that there's an advert or a report about his son. Let me just have a quick look what the son is called, Marok, I think, being engaged to a Zenithian hegemony princess. And that there will be an engagement party coming soon. This very evening. This very evening? Oh, tomorrow evening. Tomorrow evening there's an engagement party at the palace. Probably tomorrow. Depends how fast you are. No, it will be tomorrow. So it's a little bit of local press coverage about that and how all the great and the good of Little Algol and beyond, and some of the people from the monolith itself are invited. If you want to know more, I can look up a couple more names for you, but it's going to take me a moment.
Okay.
Because that is really for next time. So his oldest son Marok is betrothed to Theda and Dinhama. Some more names for you to look at. So Dolkasar announces the betrothal of his oldest son Marok to the Theda Dinhama, the fifth daughter of Eden, leader of the mighty Dinhama clan.
Ah, spellings. Just what I need.
Spellings?
Yeah.
For your notes.
The notes look a bit strange when I can't.
Yeah, I know. Especially with these names. Chama, I think it is. Yeah. Mohammed, if you're still there, you can tell us whether I'm pronouncing that right. Din Chama.
Well, if we decide we want to talk to him, we know how to find him.
You know where he lives. Yeah, but he's basically one of those newly rich people, so he'll probably have some guards around him, and yeah, he'll probably be very showy with the party and just serving the nicest and the sweetest dates and the nicest wine and so on.
I kind of want to show up just to steal his dates.
Also furnished things.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's got some nice cushions. You need to bring your ship down so you can steal everything and run off with it. Okay, anything else you want to look at?
I'm trying to think if there's anything else we want to learn.
Any other messages you want to send?
I'd like somebody else to send a message on my behalf to my family.
I can do that for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, without mentioning my name.
Okay, what message do you want to send?
I'll tell them what happened to Noor.
Yeah. I can do that.
You can. And you do.
Mm-hmm.
What does it say?
Now, what did she do on the station? Can you remember, Sue?
She was a student
Right.
at the academy. Media Academy, I believe.
Right, I could fib and say she tried to she was interviewed me and became a friend of the crew. So, you know, I felt it, and because she was such a nice young lady, I felt it necessary to pass on the tragedy of her death. Yeah, and I'm doing the best I can to investigate and bring those responsible for justice. All without mentioning Sayer's name or even hinting about her existence.
Okay, you can send that. That's fine. Are you expecting any response, or is it basically here's the message and condolences with it message?
Not expecting any response.
Mm-hmm. And how specific are you about what happened to her?
Sorry?
How specific are you about what happened to Noor?
We discussed this with Sayer before. Do we mention that she was kidnapped?
Yeah, I think they'd want to know.
Yeah, let's give the truth, but without gory details.
Yeah.
She was kidnapped and she was killed.
Yeah, and
On Kuan, and yet that you sorted out the funeral arrangements.
Yeah.
Okay. And you sign with your real name? Or you do try to anonymize it in any way?
Thing is, I've got cover. Yeah, being in the news means that, and she was a media student. It's quite reasonable for her to interview.
Yeah.
And I can always claim. It's just chance that we were here. But yeah, I give him my real name. Yeah, let's take the risk.
Okay. I'll just take a quick note here. So to here, send a message about the kidnapping and death and funeral. To Saya's family. Now, Saya, when you say your family, do you mean your own family or essentially your aunt? Because Noor was your cousin, right?
I consider that all to be my own family, but specifically Noah's parents.
Okay. Just as a hook for next time. Taking a quick note. Okay. So, anybody else wants to do anything? Will, you've been very quiet so far tonight. Is there anything you want to do?
I think I'm going to do something that I seem to end up doing an awful lot, partly because my character just is not very vocal at all. You mentioned that one of the options we had was scouting out the place a little early.
Yeah.
So I think that's what I'm going to try and do, but I'm going to see if I can speak to any members of, I don't suppose staff would really be the correct term.
Yeah. It's a hospitality venue of sorts, isn't it? So what we start.
Yeah, that's true. I think it would just be kind of what the crowd is like every night, where it's best to stand, and that sort of thing. I'm willing to drop maybe 3 or 4 burr on it if need be.
3 or 4 burr, okay.
But I'm very, very bad at all sorts of social interaction. So, it's just one of those where I'm looking to scope out the venue. Mainly, the first thing is that entrances and exits. And secondly, if I can speak to a couple of members or a couple of members of staff.
All right, so you go across. There's still in Little Algol, this place. You go across to this. It's an old customs office building down by the harbour, but it started to sink in a little bit. So the house is in quite bad shape, and it's on the flooded border between the Mibea district, which I don't know whether you can see it on the map there, and Little Algol. So basically, roughly where I'm pinging now, that's where it will be. It's an old customs house, and it is in relatively bad shape, and they've got some sandbags around it to keep probably from whenever there's a bit of a high water, and some sheets of metal as a floody fence as well. But the entrance is in a semi-collapsed colonnade, and basically without the description from this lady you got that token from, that little icon of the gambler, you probably wouldn't have easily found it. You see a sour-looking guy standing in front of the door, like a bouncer, who's basically put there for some reason, even though there's no guests coming at this point, you reckon. But yeah, he just grunts at you. Just, oh, what do you want then? There's no fighting yet.
Oh, I just wanted to have a look around. There's no problem with that, is there?
Look around? What are we? Are we in a museum or something?
I think museums might be taken care of a little bit better, but I just wanted to get a feel for the place.
Oh, what do you want to know? You know, you can only come in with a recommendation, right?
Yeah. We've got. Oh, don't worry. I know people. Which probably sounds about as convincing in game as it does just now.
I know people.
I know people. I was just wondering, what sort of crowd are we expecting tonight?
Well, it depends, you know. Don't work for the fire brigade, do you?
I'm just going to kind of, no fire brigade here.
He just laughs at his own joke. No, 100, 150 maybe. But only the finest, you know. I don't let anybody in.
No, of course not. I wouldn't expect. Now, where would the best seats be? Like, where would be the best place to watch some of these fights?
Well, you know, if you ask me, it's the second tier up. You know, it's tiered seating, and the second tier up is front row. That's probably the best place. You can sort of look over the fences. You can really see what's going on. If you're right at the ring side, of course, you might get some of the blood splatter and so on, and the excitement is intense, but you can't really see so much because of the cage being in the way, the bars.
No, that's very good. How long have you worked here? You've been here a while?
Oh, a couple of years.
Would you mind if I came in, had a look around now, or are you guys setting up?
I don't know whether that's a good idea. This is the
not?
moment where your bear needs to be coming.
Yeah, I'm willing to drop 5 bear if that's.
Yeah, okay. Do me a quick manipulation roll. And I know you're very good at it. I just want to see what happens.
Okay then. Let's see.
And I'll give you +1 for the 5 bear. That's the cheapest +1 you can buy.
Yes, okay. That still gives me 3 dice.
Ooh, I don't know, I suppose. But you need to be in and out, yeah. There's probably setting up and cleaning up right now.
In and out, I promise. And yeah, I'm going to go and have a look around. He's mentioned about the fire department. So I'm going to guess there's maybe 2 entrances, 3 entrances into this entire place.
Probably.
Yeah. So I'm going to try and find a decent spot on the second tier that's closest to the entrance, and I think that's where we're going to want
to walk
be.
in. Let me just describe the interior, because I haven't really done that yet. Basically, the whole place looks almost, you don't quite know what it was, but it's a 2-story high interior room, lots of concrete columns still. Maybe it was an office building that took all the partitions out, something like that. In the middle and the bottom, you have got this this ring, basically, and behind it there are various further steel cages where you can see some animals in some of them. Some people are milling about. There are a couple of bars set into the side, but basically there's tiered seating on the top tiers. And what else can I tell you? Yeah, the bar looks like it's made from old office desks. And the whole place just reeks of blood and sweat and alcohol and smoke. Yeah, a couple of people look at you.
I'm going to... Oh, do you know what? I should have brought my toolkit and my hard hat. Damn it.
One chap comes towards you and say, can I help you?
Yeah, I was just looking around.
You're not here to apply for the job as a barkeep then, are you?
Oh, I mean, if there's one going, I'm always up for making a few extra beer.
Well, we had a couple of people who are called in sick, so it would be useful. We put word out on the street that we're looking for barkeep.
I'm absolutely more than happy to be a barkeep. Would you like to see a demonstration?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So,
Would this be a dexterity roll?
it depends a little bit because there's some stuff is knowledge and some stuff is skill. So you will need to know, for example, I don't know, cocktail recipes or whatever. And then the other thing is doing the Tom Cruise thing, with a shaker, throwing it around and stuff. What are you going for? Are you just going to show the knowledge that you might have, or are you going to really impress with skills?
Do you know what? The thing is that I think I'd probably try a bit of both, depending on what the knowledge is. If it's like knowledge science or...
well, you could probably do something with science and say, if you mix this and this, then you get this ingredient mix and it does this. But
you can do the thing with like the smoke on the dry ice on the glass.
Yeah, you could do that, or you could do culture if you like, to just show that you know some of the cocktails and drinks, how they're being served and how they should be served. But this is not a very salubrious place. They probably have some cocktails, and they have lots of bottled beer. You remember you had and fruit wine. You remember you had this fruit wine makery down the road.
Yeah, in which case I'll go for the dexterity then. Do a bit of make an art style of the drinking.
All right. Let us see, I should say. Show us your art. The art of throwing bottles around. Oh, not bad. Not bad.
I will take that, yeah.
He looks you up and down. So I just need to run the ID. Yeah, just to make sure we don't get any felons in here. So, do you mind?
No, not at all. Aaron thinks, do I have any outstanding warrants?
So he runs it in the background. Yeah, with the tag. Sorry, that was the wrong button. What happens? Okay. He looks at something on the screen and says, all right, that seems to check out. You're going to not work by yourself, of course. You're going to be partnering behind this bar, starting at, say, 6 tonight.
Yeah, certainly. What's the dress code?
Smartish.
Okay.
Up and down. Yeah, and no badges and no guns.
Done.
Or no hats.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. I am then immediately going to message Razak and say, or as soon as I'm out, and ask him if he's got any sort of brass knuckles.
Just to get into the role, method acting. Yeah.
You're like Ross in IT Crowd, aren't you? He's working behind a bar Sunday when we visit. You've seen that episode.
Absolutely, yes.
No, I haven't
exactly that.
I haven't watched it.
Cleaning the glasses, knocking them all over.
Yeah, exactly that.
That's a pop culture reference I cannot actually relate to because I've never watched it.
Oh, you got to see the IT Crowd. It's a must watch.
It was on when I was still working in IT. All right, I just sussed out a really good way of looking at my notes so you can actually see them on the stream. That's good. So, don't know whether anybody is following the stream, of course, but otherwise you would have been able to follow my notes, see my notes.
Well, because of the notes, I'm not following it.
Okay, fair enough. You can watch it after if you like. But I can pop out the notes, so that's fine. And we don't really play with battle maps much. Might happen tonight, though. So, it is coming at 9:30. Shall we take a short break?
Sure.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yep.
Yeah? 5 or 7 minutes, something like that. So, can I do this? Can I remember how to do this? There we go. And we're going to go on a short break. I'm going to be back in a few.
Love, we did like a cuppa. Seriously.
The pay to wins, yeah.
Yeah, maybe I need a different tier 10. 23 tier 10s later, says Mark.
It is tricky. That
Yeah.
game. I remember
Don't take it
playing
seriously.
War Thunder quite a bit, and on the PC with a flight stick, and I enjoyed that. That was good. I had my keyboard, I had all the functions there, and the flight stick was giving me all the other things like rudder control, etc. But playing it on the Xbox now, you just think, just even switching to the bomb side takes absolutely yonks.
Yeah, I played War Thunder on the PC for a while for the planes. I never played the tanks, if I remember.
But World of Warships is definitely better than the ships in War Thunder.
Yeah, I do. I actually was playing World of Warships recently the other day. Yeah, the game annoyed you. The trouble with World of Warships really annoyed me. I almost understood why they had no British tanks to start. But when they did World of Bloody Warships, they had no bloody British warships. It was like, you just don't like the British, do you? And then they brought out the Warspite as the only British ship years ago. And it's a tier 6 battleship with 16k range. You get outranged by tier 5 battleships. It's painful. Still a good ship, though.
What is it, Gaijin Russian company?
Gaijin are Russian, yeah, even though they sound Chinese or Japanese, but they're Russian.
Yeah, so you get lots and lots of, well, I think it was German and Russian tanks originally.
German, Russian, Americans, with all the Russian tanks being made of Stalinium.
Yeah, indeed. And then you had the Italian ones coming in as a bit of a joke, I think. And then you've got all sorts now. You've got Swedish tanks in there.
Yeah, but they finally brought the British out. Yeah, and you got French, British, French, Chinese, Japanese, Swedish, Polish, Czechoslovakian, and Italian.
I do enjoy it, but it's a guilty pleasure because you just waste so much time there. It's like there's this story mode. So we're going to get back to the game in a minute, I promise. But the story mode I quite like usually in War Thunder, where you play missions that join to campaign, and then you sort of play through co-op or you play through solo. And there's just the very easy missions in theory. You're supposed to intercept people with your aircraft in the Spanish Civil War or something. You shoot down the first wave eventually, and then it says second wave is coming, and second wave is a cluster of bombers and a cluster of fighters. And basically, I shoot out one or two bombers, and then I get shot down, and then I spawn so far away that I can't actually reach the bombers anymore before they bomb the target, and I lose the round. And I played it 5 times now, every time it happens. So I need a capable core partner, I think. So,
I'll have to see if I can recover my War Thunder account. I haven't played it in a long time.
I started over on the Xbox, so I'm not far advanced at all. You can probably do this within a day, easily. Catch up to me. My old War Thunder account was pretty good on the PC.
Does it allow you to do PC and Xbox together?
Yeah, there's cross-platform play, pretty sure. Not sure whether that stretches to co-op, but why shouldn't it? Certainly in the other games, you get little icons next to the planes. And normally, if you see somebody with a game controller next to them, you think, that's an easy target. Go for them. Anyway, shall we get back? I'm not sure, is Martin back yet? Because he's still muted himself. Martin H.
I'm here.
I'm here. Good. All right, so you had placed somebody in the bar, and the rest of you got the message. So shall we fast forward to the evening, or do you want to do something else?
I'm okay with fast forwarding.
Yep.
All right, so 6 o'clock comes, and Aaron reports for duty.
Yep.
And you start getting introduced to somebody, and you basically observe them. You help out. First customers are drifting, and the people who always just hang out in this sort of place. Yeah, even though there's no fighting going on yet, but it's slowly filling up a little bit. You're serving some drinks. The person next to you shows you lots of stuff, how to mix it. And then probably 7:30, you have your first short break. So you go back to the break room, which is essentially just a really, really dingy concrete room. But it's got a table in the middle, and it's got a fridge, and you are invited to help yourself to drink.
Yeah, I'll probably have a drink, and I'll have a look around and see if I can chat to any of my coworkers, see how long they've been working there, what the atmosphere is like, how good it is.
There's a slightly hectic conversation going on between a group of 4 of them. No way, really? What did you do? How can you cope with that? And that is horrible. I hope they're going to pay you extra for that.
Oh, what's going on here?
And they look at you. Oh, he's a new guy. He's Aaron. He's okay. Yeah, she was just telling us this morning. She came in to clear up and she found dead bodies in the dog cage.
No.
Yeah, there were 2 people there. 2 corpses. In with the dog.
That's awful.
And the dog had been chewing them as well.
Terrible. That's how did she recognize any of them? Were they patrons, staff?
Well, they've been hanging around here a little while. I don't actually know who they were, but I'm pretty sure they were stevedores. You know, dog workers.
Oh, that's terrible. I'm gonna say, what did the bosses say?
Well, they were absolutely disgusted that somebody would do something like that. And yeah, we cleared up the bodies and handed them over to the temple. But the show must go on, right?
No, absolutely. Are you okay? Can I get you a drink? I'll say to the woman.
Oh, I've got lots of drinks, thank you. I'm fine with my friends. Why was Khalil laughing there, I wonder?
No, I just found the irony of, people who organise dogfights sort of saying how dreadful it was to find dead bodies.
Well, dead bodies of people, yeah, that sounds slightly different than fighting dogs trained, I suppose. Just for the record, I'm not a fan of dogfighting. I would never go and see one. All right. At what time do you guys come in then? About this time, I suppose. The others come in. Is everybody coming in or is anybody staying out?
I'm going
We're all
in.
going. Yeah.
We're all going?
What do you reckon? About 8ish?
8ish?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we were told it doesn't get busy until 10, but I don't know when people first start turning up. I assume not everybody can be fashionably late.
Well, people have started turning up, and of course, Aaron can send you a message saying, "Yeah, it's starting to fill up now." You've got eyes on the ground.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'll definitely message when it's getting good.
Okay, now I was looking for a nice illustration of a sci-fi dogfighting pen for you to show you a nice picture of it, but it's actually not easy to find. So if
Pretty
anybody,
niche image to look for.
you have to be careful what you search for as well. Yeah, we see the sort of Victorian places, dogfighting illustrations. That's easy to come by. But okay, yeah, you all rock up, and there's a couple of bouncers at the door, and they just look up you up and down. What do you want?
We would like admission, please.
Well, have you got recommendation from one of our members? Because I don't recognize any of your faces.
I don't recognise yours.
Yeah, but I don't want to come into your house.
We had a token, didn't we?
Livy?
Of the gambler.
You got the token. A very particular
Flash
little
talisman.
pendant talisman of the gambler. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You flash it, you have it, yeah? Says, oh, why didn't you just say so? Come on in then. And you enter the building. I'm sure you've listened to the description earlier. There's some thumping music going on in the background. No, it's a bit rockier than that, a bit heavier than that. Can you hear any music from Foundry, by the way?
Yep.
Because I can't. Again.
No, I can hear it. It's fairly quiet, but
Fairly quiet is okay. It's
I might
just
have
supposed to
turned it
be
down a lot.
mood music in the background. That's all it's supposed to be. I can't hear it, but I don't need to hear it, right?
I've just
So-
done a search on sci-fi arena cage fighting alien, and Nicolas Cage pops up for some inexplicable reason. He really does get everywhere.
He does. He does. This happens to the greatest actor of all times, right?
I'm not sure I'd go that far.
So, yeah, there's no fighting yet, but you can see that there are people already opening their books. I mean, not to read, but to take bets. And you see a familiar face behind one of the bars. So we said it's about 8 o'clock at night.
Get some drinks round.
Yeah, you rock up. Get a round of drinks sorted out. Don't want to micromanage this, but do you want to test this new bar's keep and give him something difficult to do?
No.
No, you get beer in bottles, and you enjoy it.
Have some beer. Dum.
I am going to request an alcohol-free option if possible.
There's
You
rose
get
water.
yeah, rose water in bottles.
Yeah, fine with me.
Or would it be stupid plasticky stuff because we're worried about fights? No, it's invite only. So you
It's a
bottle
fight
something, you
club.
don't come back.
You probably get bottles here. If people wanted to fight, they would have some weapons with them. Because you weren't asked whether you had any weapons on you, so... Alright, so the place is starting to thrum a little bit, aren't they? Do you want to seek out anybody? Do you want to strike up conversations with staff? Do you want to flirt with the barkeep? What do you want to do?
Who are we looking for again?
Sorry, say it again?
Who are we looking for? Hey, my catch has been ill. You can't blame him for slight memory loss from time to time.
Okay, but there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 others who might know. Why are you here?
Yes,
The
this is one thing that
We had to
didn't
find
make it
two.
into my notes last week.
You are here because this was a
We
place
had to
that
find
was...
two.
That's right. This is a place where you've heard that Tubra hangs out. Yeah, this is a place she often comes to.
Do we have a
Alright.
picture of her at all?
Do you have an image?
know what she
Yes,
looks
you probably found an image on her when you were doing your research in the Infonet cafe.
Yeah, I would share that with everyone.
If this works, I can show you the art, but not sure it will work. No, don't think it works right now. The option is gone. How do I best do this? I won't. You just have to take my word for it. You show the picture. Yeah. And then?
Well, guess we better go smooch with the audience to see if anyone's seen or heard from her.
Mm-hmm. And of
Yep.
course, Aaron could do the same behind the bar.
Yeah. I'll go looking. Is really, what does this? What do the crowd look like? Are they a mix and a match, or do they all look pretty rough? I mean, are rich people mixing with poor people, or how's it work?
This is pretty
Is there
rough.
like a VIP section?
This is pretty rough, this place.
Excellent. So we're looking for Tubra.
You're looking for Tubra. These are workers. These are people who basically come here for relaxation after work or whatever. I just posted it in the chat, the picture, what she looks
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
I assume there's lots of Algol people.
Lots of
Local.
Algolins, yeah. Yeah. Or from the heritage anyways. Might have been a generation or two.
There may be 68 of them. Who knows?
Yeah,
Why 68?
I just want to mill around with the locals.
Yeah.
Algol 68. IT joke.
Okay. No. All right.
Yeah, I wanted to mill around with the locals, get some stories of homeland, where I come from, what's the word on the streets, how they're being treated here.
Well, it's a little bit like
Anything on
going
the
to
resistance.
Little Italy in New York. So people are proud of their heritage, but they actually, lots of them have never been to Italy or to Algol in your case. So they don't actually necessarily know a lot about it. But yeah, they seem to basically say, oh yeah, we make our way here and it's a bit hard, but yeah, there's always opportunity and we're all looking to move up in the world. It's just, yeah, the rich get richer and they try to screw us over. You just need to make sure that you are not the weakest in the chain. That's the sort of the sentiment you're getting.
I'm going.
And how do you stop yourself from being the weakest in the chain?
Well, you need to work together, you need to know your friends and then you need to work together and then things get a bit better that way. Yeah, if you're out on your own, then you're just easy pickings.
And these friendship groups, are these big groups that other Algolians can actually join?
Oh, if you stick around a bit, maybe. So you're from Algol proper, are you?
Indeed. Traveling the stars.
Good. Pleased to hear it. No, I do have a link somewhere, which I prepared earlier.
I thought this would definitely be a place to visit. Especially as I hear that Algolians have been a bit trodden underfoot a fair bit.
They have been,
I'd like to offer any assistance.
Well, that's very good of you. Very good of you. What sort of assistance could you offer?
Well, I know people willing to help fight against the struggles. I hear there's a resistance leader around this way.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
Are you sure?
Yeah, come on. When I say friendship groups, I mean us hanging together, not getting involved with some rebels from the jungle.
Oh, not about just jungle rebels, people that are working with the Algolians as well.
Well,
these rebels aren't just from the jungles, are they?
No, they're spreading here as well. You're quite right about that. But they just want to get rid of everything. Anybody who looks after themselves rather than after the whole community, they see as an enemy. So you need to be careful around those guys. He doesn't seem to be of the same ideology. Let's put it that way.
I'll just move around to other groups as well and just kind of have the same conversation, see if there's a spark of interest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, do me a quick manipulation. Let me see what happens.
Can you get any help from that? I mean, by other members of the group asking similar questions?
If you want to work together, then absolutely you can do that.
Absolutely. Let's do that. Yep. I can assist to here, I think.
I'll just put a little bit of information, exposition about Little Algol in the chat and Foundry as well. Okay. So eventually you do hear, you approach somebody and you basically have the same spiel with them and they say, oh yeah, well, are you the people who've been talking to Faraz?
Yep.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, well, there's...
That name rings a bell.
Changes are coming, as they say.
And how does one become part of these changes?
Well, it depends what you can contribute, right? We're always looking for people who can help, but right now what we need is money, or weapons, maybe some logistical support. But we're just growing the resistance. We're not ready to strike yet.
When you say logistical support, are you talking deliveries?
Potentially, yeah.
I suppose we need to be convinced.
Convinced by what? How can we convince you? Yeah, Faraz is right. You were part of the struggle
Yeah,
out
how
in the
did you
jungle,
convince
right?
us before we tried to convince you? Mm-hmm. So they say.
So, yeah.
So
I'll
we've,
say-
we've picked up our credentials by our deeds.
So here,
Go on.
perhaps we should explain to these fine gentlemen. We're on a bit of a search and locate mission around here, so we're a bit busy. But we do normally have our own ship. So if you needed logistics in the sense of things being brought in, we may be able to assist you that way once we've completed our primary mission, which is to find something which is been removed, shall we say, from the Coriolis station. People. We're looking for some people. If you could help us in that sense by perhaps directing us to some people who might be able to help us more, we could probably help you. We have a ship, and if we do say so ourselves to here, wouldn't you say we do have certain skills in making sure things are couriered around without being detected?
Yep.
We have a secret cargo compartment, but shh, don't tell anybody.
Don't mention the secret compartment.
More.
How many times?
Right. So, how do they react? Oh, yeah, I think you need to speak to our boss.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah. Look, I'll try to create some contact. Yeah. Come back to me in half an hour.
Thank you.
All right. The first dogfight is going on. There's a big announcement, like different dogs being brought out, and these dogs have been bred, you think, for fighting. They're not just bred, but some of them seem to have some genetic additions to their code, to the genetic code, because they've got really large fangs or really muscular bodies, more so than you would normally expect. These are fierce dogs. And there's
Do any of them have harnesses with rocket-propelled grenades and stuff on them?
No. They're not rocket dogs. They're not rocket dogs. But they're pretty fierce. And basically, there's a lot of shouting, and there's a lot of announcing, and the breeders are sort of parading them around first before they put them down in the pit, and they snarl each other. And then on a signal, after the bets are taken, they attack each other. And after about 5 minutes or so, one of the dogs is limping, the other one is a bloody heap on the floor. And there's a roar going around, and people are collecting their winnings or crying about their losses, other than the bookkeepers, who of course always win. I take it you don't want to bet?
Killian is having real moral quandaries about this. He's not a guy who likes to see animals suffer, so he's really struggling to, stay on mission here. Otherwise, he may just pull his guns out and start blasting, to be honest.
Gun dogs. Yeah, so it takes a little while longer, but then the time that you had agreed basically is over, and you go back to these people and their little alcove. I say, well,
Good evening.
you could look. Yana is going to be leading a procession tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah, around lunchtime tomorrow. There's a procession because some of our comrades have been shot by those Nestera Defense Force goons, and we're gonna make sure that they're gonna get a good burial. And there's a procession.
Well, that's as it should be, but are you not a bit concerned? I mean, the same people doing the shooting may be out in numbers looking for your leader.
Oh, we have enough numbers.
Fair enough.
She'll be there. Look, if
She
you
could be an easy target, though.
well,
I
yes,
hope
There
you
are,
have people
there are
watching
sniper
out for her.
weapons.
we are armed. We're not just defenseless.
Yeah, but
anymore.
there are sniper weapons that people could be picked off from distance.
We can't just hide forever, can we? Not if you're trying to build momentum for movement. You can't just do that from your garage or your cellar.
No, you're right. You can't hide forever. But surely after it would be perhaps wiser to wait a day or two. It's only been a day or so since these terrible attacks.
Well, but that's what she wants to do. Anyway, if you want to come to that procession, she'll be undercover anyway. But you can meet her.
By all means.
Yeah, and she gives you the market where that's going to happen, where that's going to go down.
Do you want
procession?
Is there a chance?
Sorry?
Do you want? Will we be introduced to her, or should we look out for some sign that it's her?
She'll know that you're coming.
Okay.
She'll know you.
No, how flattering.
She's checking your credentials with Deli Osman. All right, let's move this on a bit. So you've got a bit of information, but you still haven't found Tupra.
Where would she be?
Where would she be? Who wants to investigate that? Does anybody want to ask the underpunters? Do you want to ask the staff members? Aaron?
I might ask the staff members. I might find one of the waitresses, somebody female, and use my pretty seductive.
Say, darling, I could do with your help.
Yeah, well, nice clothes, a smile, confident attitude, and an insane PC go a long way.
Okay. Yeah, you chat up one of the waitresses, one of the
How you
barmaids.
doing?
Hello.
Hello.
What can I get you?
Ooh, now that's a discussion. Oh, sorry. Your eyes distracted me there. I'm looking for Tupra. Can you help?
Tupra? Tupra who?
Did we know her name?
Yes.
Can someone remind me?
Can you scroll up? Find it?
Yes. And Tupra.
I'm pretty sure I put the Tupra on it at some point.
Super Capra.
Tupra Capra. No.
That was a
That's
mean
Cooper
parent.
Capra. Gutan. Tupra Gutan.
Yeah, I found
GH.
Tupra.
Well, she used to be regular here, but haven't seen her for a few days.
I really need to speak to her about something urgent.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We have mutual friends. Yeah.
Such as?
Well, our mutual friends believe in equality and freedom, that sort of thing. Smile. Ding.
It goes just as well as the last time you were in the cantina trying this on. Yeah, okay. Let's see. Let your charm play. Do your worst.
Yeah. I'm hoping I can use pretty and seductive.
You can use pretty and seductive. That's fine. She's quite impressed because such a well-mannered and well-dressed man has walked into this rotten place.
Come on.
So might even give you +1 extra.
Ah, thank you. All right. Bear with me a moment.
Because I would like you to succeed.
Every now and again, it stops me from actually pulling up the skill thing for no reason I can understand. I have to close my cat sheet and open it again. Okay.
Ooh, 2 successes, I see. 3 successes. 10d6. Wow. Okay, critical success. You seem like a trustworthy sort.
I am.
You know, but you can't be too careful. You might have heard there were a couple of people murdered in this very place last night.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Well,
they were her crew, you know. They were Tupra's crew, these two who were murdered here.
Oh, yeah.
They were hiding here. But because you've got a critical success, she's spilling the beans. But Tupra, I think she's hiding in the other place, you know.
Other place?
Yeah, you know. The other place.
I'm not being dumb, am I, everybody? Using PT telepathy.
Let me just quickly look up the name of it. I know the first part of the name, but not the second one.
Other place that the DM's forgot the name of as well.
No, I know the first. In the hammam. She's got this place in the hammam where she hides.
Ah.
The hammam Tamina. That's what I was looking for. Do you know what a hammam is?
No.
Does anybody know?
No.
Anybody
Doesn't ring a bell.
buzz in? No? Hammam is basically a traditional bathhouse.
Ah, Turkish bath hammam. Yeah.
Basically. Yeah, she's probably hiding out there because she was clever enough not to hide here. As you can see, the people were found here.
Yeah.
No idea why her boss must have really pissed off the powers that are. I mean, if they're getting knocked off like this is terrible.
And the powers that be, C and D as well.
Oh.
Well, look, thank you very much for your help. Oh, look, if you want, if you're worried about walking home tonight, I can escort you if you wish.
Ooh, sure, that would be nice.
Okay, what time do you get off?
About 1.
Cool, I'll be back.
She looks quite. She's blushing a bit.
Cool.
But she seems quite smitten.
Yep.
The things you get with a critical success, eh?
Yes.
The diseases you pick up.
I'm quite lucky that the dice rolls and character traits, because if it was real life, I'd pretend I didn't like her at all, and she'd have to sit on me.
Yeah, accurate.
All right. Yeah, flirting is definitely character skill. So, you've got a bit of information. What else do you want to do? I've lined up the key things that are needed to get across. The rest is now freestyle for you.
I think we need to head over to the Tamina Hammam.
Hammam Tamina.
See if we can track her down. And I need to be back here for 1 a.m. I set a reminder on my device.
Now the hammam is. We are at least. What did we say? Probably around 11. Just went slightly too far on the clock. So you're not quite sure that's going to be open at night.
Okay, we could wait tomorrow. Yeah, do it tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we need somewhere to stay.
Well, you have your boat.
Back to the boat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cheap.
Well, I'm going to wait around here. I have to escort a lovely lady home. Don't make that. Hopefully, I won't get mugged on the way back.
Or mugged by the young lady.
The GM starts rubbing his hands together, eyeing his pool of dark side points.
I do have 10 darkness points. I need to do something with them. I have got a plan, but we'll see. We'll see. We have about. Well, we don't have that much longer left today, but we'll see. So, everybody, do you just pack up and go? Now, Aaron, of course, you need to stay up till 1 o'clock or something like that as well. Because that's when your shift is finishing. You have picked up a bit of tips, though, so you probably have a total of about 40 burn tips for the evening.
Nice.
People have been quite generous with you. Let's call it your wages plus tips, 40 burr for the evening.
Awesome. Sounds good.
I'll hang around here till Aaron's finished because he'll need escorting back
So 3 of you are now
in
hanging
case there's
around.
any trouble.
And the other 2?
Yes, I have to stay as well.
You might as well all. Okay, you're all going home late then?
Yeah, if you, we could all take a walk to drop her home. If I get invited in for coffee or whatever, that's fine. Otherwise,
you just have a feeling that if all these people are coming along, she probably will not ask you to come in. If you were by yourself, maybe, but not if everybody is trooping along. It's a bit of an odd situation.
Yeah, I can head off by myself, but yeah.
We can always follow discreetly.
Well,
Or we can just bugger back to the boat.
up to you. Do you want to take her separately, or do you want to gang up and then all drop her
I'll
off
pick
and
her up
then
home separate.
drop her off separately? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
If the PCs happen to be within shouting distance when we get horribly ambushed, that's fine.
I wouldn't do that to you.
She would.
No, I wouldn't. Actually,
Would
I had a fight planned for tonight,
Oh, there's-
but yeah, you haven't
All
quite
those
got
darkness
there.
points.
Yeah, but the fight, I need to store that up for the beginning of next time then. That's the thing.
To be
Because-
frank, if it's going to be an interesting, sorry, to be frank, was not a typo. Not a it sounds like a really good place for a fight. It's going to be a hammam. So,
You know, in my little prep consideration, do you know Eastern Promise? Or Eastern Promises, I think it is. The film with Viggo Mortensen as a sort of gangster. I think it's in London.
rings a vague bell, but I can't really place
There
it.
is a fight in a bathhouse in that, and it is visceral. It is brutal. So if you... I'm tempted to actually look it up on YouTube. I'm sure one of you can find the link for it. Bathhouse.
The interesting thing about a bathhouse fight is everyone's dressed in towels.
Yeah, indeed. It's
very hard to smuggle guns in.
It's a wet towel fight. Where they slap each other. No, it's not. Yeah. Brings up memories. And I've got my ninja kitten.
It's not like the fight scene in Red Heat. What about that fight scene in Red Heat?
Yeah.
In the sort of Turkish bathy type place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Something like that. All right, so you're going back to the boat. Tahir, if you want to spend the night, she does invite you up.
Cool, that sounds fun.
Okay.
Don't worry, we won't roleplay this, please.
That's fine. We've got our lines and veils, right?
Yes. The camera rolls over to a fireplace.
As we put the curtain above the camera. Right. Okay. By the way, you are allowed
I
to
was
have your
just
camera on.
envisaging a huge screech.
The screech from
Yeah,
him.
you know, it's like
Okay.
what they do when you lose, you know, like on an old-fashioned movie when the film comes off the projector reel, you know, where it all goes.
Oh. And it goes flap, 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 flap. The end of the film.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay. You get back to the boat. Let me just check something. Who is going to be... You're all together in the boat other than Tahir, right?
Yep.
Yes, so.
All right. Aaron, can I have an observation roll from you? I think you got pretty decent at observation, right?
Yep. Well, maybe not this evening.
Okay. So you enter the boat. And remember, it's got a little cabin towards the front. Basically, where you normally would stay overnight. It's got an open bit at the back, and then it's got a sort of step down cabin to the front. Actually, let's have an observation from everybody. Give you a chance. What do you
Flat
mean?
0 or any modifiers?
Just flat. Flat as it is. Yeah, you can't assist, but you can each have one. That's one.
One for me.
And one for you. So between you and there's Saya. Oh, 2. That's good. So between you've got 4. You think that there's definitely some stuff that has moved in the open part of your boat. Yeah, there's a sort of a mat that you put out when you step on so you don't slip, and that mat has basically was lying one way and now it's lying the other way.
Oh.
Have any of our possessions been stolen? Because I assume we left a load of big weapons here.
You locked the front cabin of the boat. You don't know. You didn't leave it. The big weapons just lying around on the back, did you? In the open bit?
Oh, no.
No.
No, they would have been locked
I
on.
don't have any big weapons.
They would be out of
It's
sight.
from incendiary devices.
Indeed.
Yeah, there could be a trap here. There could be. So let's just stop making any more forward momentum and start searching for any tripwires in case someone's left a booby trap.
Oh, now how do we search for something like that, do we think?
I assume it's observation again, isn't it?
Is it observation or is it...
Or infiltration.
Infiltration could be infiltration as well. So you guys can pick, and you can pick somebody who leads the search and then assist.
Shall I lead the search? I think I did quite well last time.
I'd have thought an engineer like Aaron would be ideal for looking for
Yeah.
tripwires and like.
Well,
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
I could have a try, but I've not been very observant.
yeah, observation or infiltration. I might even permit you technology.
Oh, if you're going to permit me technology,
I'm too generous. I know. I shouldn't.
Let's go for technology.
Technology. Okay. You're pretty sure that there's nothing there, actually, but just as you see that Saya's stretching a hand out towards the little cubby hole, towards the door that goes under the front, you just get a glint of something in the top corner. You shout, "Stop!" And Saya sort of gets frightened, shakes her arms around, catches her breath, and then you point towards it. And there's a glint of something like a fishing line that seems to be attached to the top corner. Very similar to what you saw on that corpse in Hassam's.
Oh.
Looks like
Can we
someone's
shine a light
gonna
on that
take us
wire
out.
and trace back to where it's going to?
So there was two at once. Say it again. Martin
Just
H.
shine a light. Sorry.
Martin H first.
Oh, I was going to say, yeah, it looks like someone's trapped this place like before. I think we should all back out bar one person in case it goes off and it takes us all down.
Mm-hmm. Martin G.
We could only have some kind of torch or something, so can we
Yeah.
just shine a light on that wire so that it shows up a bit more and then trace it back to where it's going?
You can, but I think that... do you want to follow this recommendation to say everybody else get off the ship, off the boat, and one person does the searching?
Well, I'll do that then.
Okay, everybody else off the boat?
Haven't been blown up recently, so, you know.
Yeah. So there is something actually in the rules to say how you do this. Not on the rules, in the scenario write-up.
Yeah.
Let me just find it. Because I could just make it up, but if you have it, then you should use it, right? So there's that. Okay, it does say here. Okay, it doesn't actually say how to disarm it. Just, how would you like to disarm it? What's your approach to this, Khalil?
Well, I won't know how to disarm it, so I know what's there. That's why I was saying.
So you're following it
Can we trace
along.
it
You
back?
can trace it, and you see that there seems to be packed right off to the side next to the door. There seems to be a 10 centimeter square box that is tucked to the side, and the wire goes into there.
Okay. So straight onto the comms, I'll say, guys, there's this wire's leading to a box. Where's the box again? Is it in the cabin, or is it on the hull, or?
It's close to where you're standing, basically, but it's tucked into a shelf. As you go down into this little well where the cabin is, there's a few shelves on the left hand side, and the lowest shelf of the shelves, tucked away like a shoebox essentially, but not quite, is this little device that you don't recognize. You haven't seen it before.
Right. I'll get on the comms and describe it to Aaron and co.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron, does this look like, or does this sound like a similar thing to we saw in Hassam's?
Is it a similar sort of trigger mechanism?
Trigger mechanism seems to be similar. You reckon that if it gets pulled, it will probably do something, but the device looks different. So you don't think this is necessarily the same idea. This might be different.
Is it taut at the moment? So if you cut it, that'll release it, the bomb as well.
No, it's not sprung like that. It is relatively taut, but you think that...
Okay.
Yeah. You think that probably you can
So you may
just
be able to cut it.
You might be able to. You haven't looked inside it. It's hard to tell.
Is it opaque? Was it transparent, or
It's
is
completely
it
opaque. It's
Okay.
dark black, slightly matte plastic. Or maybe metal. You haven't touched it yet.
Is this the sci-fi version of a Tupperware box?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just looking up there above my head where my Xbox One X is standing. It's roughly like that, but half that. So 10 by 10 black plastic, matte plastic cube.
All right. Okay. So, guys, what do we want to do with this thing? Do we want to cut it? Does somebody want to try and defuse it? Do we just leave it there and know that as long as we don't touch it, it should be okay.
Yeah, but all it needs is for a rather large
think
cat
we
to
should-
come through and touch it.
Oh, I like what, sorry?
Cat
Oh, right.
or other animal.
And
Yeah,
your
we
stuff
need
is
to get it
behind
off the
door.
boat. We don't want to be. Yeah, we don't want to be sleeping in the boat with a bomb in it. So we need to defuse it and get it off the boat.
Hmm.
There is actually a roof hatch in the front bit of the boat. So if you go right onto the bow, there's a sort of a square hatch which you can open a skylight and then you can get into the cabin that way. So you could avoid using that door.
I would expect them to have thought of that and for there to be another wire there.
Just offering options.
One that would be much more difficult to spot. So I think we have a go at diffusing it. Those of us who are willing to sacrifice our lives for the greater good.
Ah, yes, for the greater good. Uh-huh.
It's
Anybody
really
want-
annoying. If I was here, I'd enjoy taking this risk.
Has anyone got any wire clippers?
Yes, they're in the cabin.
Great. I will go fetch for wire clippers.
So you open the door.
By opening the door, does that impact the wire at all?
Yes, you reckon that opening the door would blow it.
Right, okay. Are there any windows present?
There are small windows, and there's the hatch. But you needed something like this. A mini Leatherman.
Yes, a mini Leatherman is exactly what we need, and it sounds like we've got one in the cabin, but we can't get to it.
I was doing a bartending job. I didn't expect to need a bomb defusal kit. It's in my other set of trousers.
You would just go
Thought.
to the local 7-Eleven. You can buy one, right?
No, that's okay.
I've got a knife.
I'll just get the wire cutters. I'll smash a window and TK them out.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
military
TK.
powers.
Okay. The windows are not very big, but you can smash them in quite easily.
Yeah.
All
I'll do
right,
that then.
let's do mystic powers from you.
Yeah. Let's see how badly I roll this time.
So,
I am
Aaron,
not
you
optimistic.
describe exactly where the wire cutters are in your toolkit. They are
Yep, absolutely.
in a handy pouch on the outside, right?
Always.
Cat attack. Ninja cat straight in the side. She looks so cute, but she has sharp claws.
Okay, well, I got one there. Is that going to be enough? Or
That's going to be enough. Yeah, you
Okay.
get the wire cutters out.
Excellent. What the heck? I might as well retreat to a safe distance and cut the wire with it.
You can't actually get to a safe distance very easily. I mean, you can because you can TK it, but using that via telekinesis is going to be difficult. So if you want to make sure you actually do it, I would want 2 successes from you.
Oh, okay. Well, give that a shot then.
Want to give it a shot? All
Yep.
your stuff is on that boat, you know.
Well, I'm not a particular bomb disposal expert. Our bomb disposal expert is currently at a booze bar, so we could wait for him, or we can cut the wire and see what happens. What do people think?
Well, if bomb disposal is infiltration, I'm quite good at that.
If it's technology, I can do it.
Depends. But it's probably more tech, isn't it? It's more tech, isn't it? So
Yeah, I mean,
We
I
have
can-
You could
technology
argue
skills.
either. You could argue either. Could be infiltration because you know how to set these bombs, so you know how to spot them and disarm them, or it could just be technology. Or it could be dexterity, because actually what you're trying to do is you're just trying to cut a wire. So it's not technology, it's dexterity. You could argue it a different way.
I'm good at all three.
Oh,
so
well,
there you go.
your job then.
To cut or not to cut? That
I
is
don't
the
mind.
question.
You don't mind.
Okay.
Heroically, you step forward onto
I win,
this
throw the dice.
the rocking boat. And yeah, which dice would you like then? Dexterity or infiltration? What is it going to be?
Infiltration, please.
Infiltration, please.
Yeah.
For the
infiltration.
checkout.
Maybe you should pray to the icons before you do this.
Ooh,
Yep.
There's somebody who knows the rules.
Yeah,
So-
I think I can't. I'm not here, so I can't
pray
get
to the
the
icons
I can
for.
see telepathy in the background.
You can be the messenger icon and message that through.
Well, you're not here, but we've still got our comms. So.
Yeah.
Indeed, but you might not be picking up right now.
So
I'm busy.
pray to the faceless one to improve my infiltration chances.
Good. That's one. That's on the push, though, isn't it? Preparatory.
That's on a
period.
re-roll, though, isn't
That's
it?
on the push.
Yeah, it's on
Now,
the push.
if he's cutting a wire, I'm
Uh,
just getting off the boat
it-
quick.
Yeah, they won't back off. Anything that I could use that could help? Probably isn't now, is there? Because the tools are actually unavailable. So other than a knife to cut the wire.
Well, you've got the wire cutters now.
So
You did get them. You got them out of the
okay,
window.
so yeah, of course I have. Yeah. So that's is that a +1 on the
That's
roll?
a +1, yeah. That's a +1.
Okay, here we go. Then.
Ooh.
It's praying time.
Wow.
Ouch.
Now, when you pray, you don't get a chance to add +1, do you? You have to roll a separate dice.
You can roll another one afterwards.
If you're praying to the icons beforehand, you get a +1 on the dice
On the
No, you
reroll.
get-
on a re-roll. Yeah, you don't get it on the original roll, but you do on a re-roll.
Yeah, so you need to add that manually. Last chance.
Yeah, okay. That's...
No! So,
there we
you
go.
try to cut it, but as you cut it, you don't know. You probably didn't do it quite right. You just hear this very, very soft little click, and then there's a big boom. A big bada boom. And we probably will cut it at that point because it's 10:30. It's perfect timing.
Yep.
Is that okay with everybody?
Hanger. Yeah,
There goes all our stuff.
That we return after this, and then we'll see what happens down the harbour in Artia Golem's boat that you've stolen from him.
well, of course, if we're using this as a cliffhanger, then if it's a traditional Republic series type cliffhanger, then at the beginning of the next episode, you'll find that it didn't actually happen that way anyway.
It was all a dream.
So-
We did a rewind. No, I think
Well-
this should happen this way, because I can actually then look up the blast rules, because the blast
Well, no,
rules are blasting
You
stupid.
always used to say it in Flash Gordon or Buck Rogers, didn't you? You know, their ship was shot down or somebody fell off a cliff. And then at the beginning of next week's episode, you find that they didn't actually fall off a cliff or they weren't shot down.
That was also sometimes the other way around, though. They would say, and next time on Flash Garden, they would show you stuff that never would happen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the earliest examples of retconning.
Yeah, indeed. Okay, so you want some experience?
Yep.
We do.
Right. Now, you probably were, if that makes sense, half an hour slower than I thought you would be. So, but I thought you would actually maybe slightly more. But that's okay. We're not in a rush. We can always continue the next block. After all, next long block. Short block, you guys have other plans, or I take it? Well, you've put a game
Yep.
out, haven't
I'd
you?
like to play your game again.
You've
Yeah, we asked last week, didn't we? I said I'll be perfectly happy to continue with Coriolis.
Yeah, I think
Yep.
that's going to be long block, though.
Yeah.
Next long block. So in the short block, we might be doing something else. And I might even be, I don't know, just wondering whether I should try Dune. Because I've got my hands on it. I've got my hands on Fallout and I've got my hands on Dune. And I'm sort of, which one should I be playing? Anyway, so you all participated. Did you overcome a difficult challenge?
No.
You overcame a series of challenges, and there were 4 or 5 that you overcame, but I don't think anybody of them was really difficult. Personal problem? No. Did you learn something? No. Did you sacrifice or risk something? Some of you did. Just now. Did you act in accordance with your icon? You know that better than I, so but that would be a bit mean. That would
Ooh,
be a bit mean.
I found out some secrets. Yes.
Secrets. What did you find out?
I found out about the lady who saw the. Well, I'm working my way into the bar staff, and they're telling me all their secrets now.
Yeah, that was good. So you definitely all get 1. Tell me why you should have more than 1, and then the rest of the crew can say yes or no to it. Let's do it that way.
Well, acting in accordance with the icon, the Traveller is all about using plans and stuff. So,
Stop.
chatting up the barmaid
Yeah.
with the express purpose to get the info, I think may count.
What do you think, guys? You can award to each other.
Oh,
Huh. Well, I would propose Rozak gets an extra point for heroically stepping forward to defuse the bomb.
Yeah, that seems fair.
Mhm.
Let's hope you live long enough to use it.
Goes with my nature.
Any other moves for extra points?
The icon one's interesting, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
my icon's a gambler, so it's always about taking a risk.
It's taking risks, acting in accordance with the icons. We always have this discussion. To be honest, I'm
What
not
to do.
100% convinced by these questions, but if you have... I've got some notes here which I can show you about the icons. What
I'm
they
happy
could mean.
just to take one.
See, I've got for the messenger.
Uh,
Did you uncover some secret, preferably by use of wits or subterfuge?
Yeah, you did. I would be happy to give you that.
First time ever using manipulation and somehow succeeding.
Somehow succeeding. You got the job as a barkeep. You spoke to the lady about what happened at the club. All good stuff. So I would be happy to give you that.
Would sending the message off
the
to
gambler one is, did you
parents-
take unnecessary risk?
I think sending the message to Noor's family. Yeah.
I think they'll come under speaking the truth despite it being difficult or unpopular.
Yeah, definitely. Martin, sorry, you were saying?
Yeah, so I was just going to say, take unnecessary risk as part of the gambler.
Yeah, you have done that. I don't really want to give that same point twice if it makes sense, though. So taking risk and taking risk.
Mm. Okay.
If it's the same risk, and it was the same risk, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Any more?
I enjoyed getting my trigger polished, but I don't think that counts for anything.
I have to say that was quite a nice conversation you were doing. It didn't even make you roll because you were quite convincing. But I'm very happy if you just say, look, that was a really cool scene. You should have a point for that. That you can do it that way. Yeah, but that's
Up
by...
to you, I don't mind. But I also compromise my values in not getting rid of a dog thing. But that's not really enough of a compromise. That doesn't count, I don't think.
For the sake of justice, no, not really. Long-term justice. I mean. All right, take down your points, whatever you come up with. But I would actually like you guys to sort of actively award points to each other. I can always step in and say, no, that was too much. But usually it's a nice way of doing it, rewarding play with each other and the scenes with each other. All right, so we're going to see each other again next Tuesday, same time, same place.
Yep.
Yeah.
That will be session 7. And
Wow.
because we are slightly behind where I thought, and we've got a couple of fight scenes and stuff. The conclusion of the Kuan connection might have to move into the end of the long block, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. There's basically, after this, there's 2 bigger scenes or 2 locations we need to do, and that translates in the book to, if we just use that as a page count, 46 pages. Quite a bit to go. Right, hope you enjoyed that, everybody. And let's see, we have an explosive finale.
Yay.
We'll see what happens next time when we return to Kuan. All right, so I'll just shut this down, this feed. Say goodbye. Now the only one on camera. You were already camera shy today. Don't know you did like this at all.